What is Spanish today? What is this? What is this? No, get out of here. We're not playing Fortnite. Go do scary animations. Scary animations. I don't want to break my terror. So scary animations. I'm probably gonna break it after like these videos. And we're gonna scream. Don't sneeze! Coronavirus! So, scream at this video. Oops, I need to tell you. So guys, if you get scared easier, don't watch this video. So warning, if you get scared, don't watch this video if you have nightmares. Oh, don't watch this video then. S C E R Y Scary stories. But first, let's just hear some scary sounds. Here we go. I'm scared. Okay. So, oh my god, I'm trying to cut a video here. What bedding? I can't see bedding anywhere. Alright. Sounds. Okay, let's just do stories, okay? I lost it. Scary stories. There we go. Right. Why? I know which one, guys. They all look scary. 12-hour scary.
You better that.
Guys, I've got playing scary animations. Animation. There we go. Okay, guys. This one is called
My name is Alan,
I Meet a Girl at the Airport. True horror story animation.
and this happened a year ago.
A year ago.
I was at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport and about to check in, going to Dubai. I was standing in the line to check in when I noticed that someone was staring at me. It was a girl. She seemed like an ordinary girl at first, but then I noticed that her eyes were odd. They were open, very wide. She was smiling at me, but her smile was kind of annoying and crooked. I got creeped out, so
Yeah, I did.
after I was finished checking in, I quickly went through immigration and headed to the flight gates. Before going to the gates, I stopped at the restroom, and while I was urinating there, I could hear someone faintly whispering outside. I could tell that it was a girl's voice. When I finally walked outside, I encountered the same girl who I had met at the check-in line. She was just standing there. But then, I saw scissors in her pocket. I quickly pushed her, ran away, and hid from her for a while. 30 minutes later, I barely arrived at the gate. And guess who arrived at the gate?
The girl.
Right. The same girl was there again. She was literally stalking me the whole time. Right then, I was terrified. So when we started boarding, I made sure that I didn't make eye contact with her at all. Fortunately, my seat was apart from hers. So at least I felt a little relieved during the flight. But this story didn't end there. When I arrived in Dubai, I quickly got out of the airport and headed to the currency exchange counter. While I was exchanging my money, I looked around several times, but there was no sign of her anywhere.
Oh, that's good.
I quickly grabbed my money, but the moment I turned around, my heart dropped. The same girl whom I'd met at the airport was there. She was staring at me, holding scissors. But this time, she started twitching bizarrely. Her smile became bigger and even scarier, and she was walking toward me, closer and closer. It was almost 2 a.m., and there was nobody else around in that area. I had no choice but to run, so I dashed quickly away and started searching for a taxi to get to the train station. Just then, I realized that the girl started to speed up to chase after me. Luckily, I narrowly found one taxi, and when I got in, it was a sigh of relief. When I glanced out the back window, the girl was standing there and was staring straight into my eyes. After 2 weeks, I went back to Manila. Of course, I didn't see her anymore after that night. However, the memory of that girl has been haunting me to this day. I haven't been able to forget her face.
Okay, guys, that was a bit scary, but not scary enough for me. My mum woke up from a coma after 15 years to get revenge.
I could not believe it.
That's not scary, it was animation. Is it really hard to find a scary animation? Guys, I'm gonna watch another scary animation. Let's type it in again. Scary stories animated. Okay. Go with this one.
Wasn't at a haunted house or anything, but it happened while I was delivering pizzas. I have no belief in the paranormal, nor any spirituality for that matter. Anyways, I was delivering pizzas because I work for a pizza chain. It was about 9 at night with almost a full moon out. It was dark, but I could still see a good 20 feet in any direction. So I bring the pizza to the door, everything goes normally, and I start to head back to my car. At about that time, I hear a noise like the plastic wheels of a big wheel or something of that nature going down the road a good 50 feet from me. My first thought was, why would a parent let their child play outside this late? As I look over, all I see is a faint orange light above where I hear this noise. Not thinking too much of it, I get in my car and back out of the driveway. As my headlights reach where the light is, I see the scariest thing I have ever seen in my life. There's like this midget thing just staring off into the woods. The best way I can describe it is it was like it was made of scribbles. Like a moving drawing of sorts, but the lines were really jumpy and weren't contained. I had my headlights on this thing for about 5 seconds before it noticed me. As soon as it notices my car, it makes an all-out sprint to where I'm sitting. I sat there frozen as this thing sprinted at me. It got about a foot to my car, and then disappeared. As soon as it disappeared, my car died and my headlights cut out.
That's good.
I sat there for a good 30 seconds with my heart racing, just waiting for something to happen. My headlights came on after about a minute, and I didn't see anything there. I turned my car back on and got the hell out of there. This is the first time I've told this story, and still have absolutely no idea what it was. I am a firm skeptic, but this baffles me.
Story 2.
My childhood home was haunted. I grew up in an emotional place. My mom had narcissistic personality disorder, and my sister had been diagnosed with bipolar and meth-induced psychosis. I was abused, neglected, and stressed out. So maybe negative energy draws demons, or maybe I was crazy at the time. My dog would often bark at the Ouija board. I'd often wake up hearing music and conversation in the living room, only to find that there wasn't anyone there. Very often, I would hear a baby cry and be too terrified to investigate. One day, I had some friends over. I told them the place was haunted, and one of them said, "Let's call the devil."
Don't call it the worst.
Before I even had a chance to respond, an unbelievably loud and guttural growl came from my television set. The girl who wanted to call the devil pissed herself and never came back to my house again. Other friends would often see large birds flying over my house at night. I only had one friend brave enough to stay with me, even after having witnessed some of this. Well, the most terrifying part of this story happened when I was home alone, very late one night. I was talking on the phone with my brave friend when I suddenly felt sick. I saw my recently deceased grandma's reflection in the glass of the back door. I was very scared and frankly upset. It looked like her, but it wasn't. I went to my bedroom and began to hear scraping, like knuckles dragging on the walls. It was circling the entire bedroom, going round and round, faster and faster. My friend offered to come over, and I said yes, please. By this point, I was crying. Just as he got to the front yard, he described hearing footsteps and seeing rocks moving in the front yard, but no one was there. As I went to grab the door to open it, my hairbrush flew directly at my face. Everything went silent after that. I tried to go to my friend's house as much as possible after that incident. As I got older, things did calm down, but I still had a terrible sense of dread, anger, and sadness. My life didn't really start until I got into a happier home and stopped talking to my mom and sister. So maybe I was crazy, but my friends saw things too.
Story 3, guys.
I was 15, and I thought I was old enough for war. The law didn't matter to me, not when it came to fighting for our country. So I lied. I lied my pretty little face off until they let me get on that dirty bus and go to the camp. I remember chuckling to myself. In my head, I was as ready as any of the other men for what was to come. I had my first panic attack in the trenches. I didn't even know what was happening to me, but I knew that I couldn't breathe or hear the gunfire anymore. I thought maybe I had died, and I froze. When we got back to our base, I was screamed at for so long my commander nearly lost his voice. All I could do was stand there, trying not to instinctively wipe the blood and spit from my face. I was ashamed, and it was the first time I wondered if I had made a mistake. A few days before my 16th birthday, they brought a few prisoners into our camp. One stood out from the group, a little boy who looked to be just a bit younger than me, but much frailer. The look on his face gave me second-hand terror, and I shuddered. He looked like he could be my brother. Then, on my 16th birthday, the interrogations began. Each of the soldiers in our camp took turns questioning and beating the prisoners. When it was my turn, I felt the feelings of panic rise in me again. I didn't want to hurt those people, especially not the young boy. When I entered the tent, my eyes met with his almost immediately. His face was bruised and bloody, and his eyes were hysterical. When he saw the gun on my belt, he began to panic, and I felt my heart sink. He reminded me so much of myself. I paused for too long, and my commander came in to see what was wrong. Before I knew what to say, he pressed his gun to the child's head and silenced him. The boy's blood got in my mouth, and I gagged hard. After that, I knew I shouldn't have come to fight. I couldn't shake how easily I could have been in his position, and I couldn't shake the look in his eyes.
This is really scary stories.
I was never one
Yeah.
for the drugs or violence on the dark web. I had a different interest, one which started innocently enough. I'd heard that there were millions of unsecured cameras online all the time, and that one could watch their feeds if they knew how to access them. I was no hacker, so I relied on